So they're together now. They're in love. Greatest love story ever. Who did this happen to in the writer's room? I want names. I want addresses. I want pictures. I want to blame somebody, please, because this is unrealistic. Mhm. Hello, my beautiful people. It's Lena. I'm back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Video number 2 for this weekend. Last night, I uploaded my somewhat different, but staying a little bit in the consistency of get ready with me, what I do to do my nails, my hair. I want to keep that up a little bit because we need to diversify in this world, okay? So I hope that you watched it and you enjoyed it and you got some good tips. So here I am now back on the review train. And this train is the one that's burning and crashing into serious hell. And just like that, season 1, full season review, because I never did it. Here we go. Let's do this. And just like that, season 1, episode 7. And full disclosure, I don't remember watching this at all before. I think I checked out in the last episode when this aired originally, because when I saw this one and the 2 preceding, I don't remember watching it. So when I went into this with fresh eyes, and it started to plug in some of the missing holes that I had when I was watching season 2, but I never remembered and I didn't want to go back. So that's probably why I didn't come on until season 2, when that one's just I got fed up. Had I known that this was worse, oh my God, I would have done this a long time ago. But I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad you're gonna, listen to me rant. Scene. Open. Carrie. Carrie's at her window, typing behind her computer. I don't know what's going on. I just see her typing. I've seen this scene before. She's done it all the time. Suddenly, you have the seasons going by. There's this song about spring happening. Spring is here. And then you see all the different seasons passing by, which, in any given shape, form, it usually takes at least 4 or 5 months for each season to pass by. So timeline-wise, I have no idea what's going on. And I say this because something happens in this episode where I asked you a question. She goes through, I think, summer, which is starts off. So let's go summer. Then you see the fall leaves. Then you see some snow. And then you see what I only could presume is spring, because that's the song that's playing. So then the next opening scene is Carrie, who apparently fell into the Joker's store. Joker, and I don't mean that in a really funny way. I mean that seriously. She walked into some sort of DC comic Joker store with somebody told her that whatever she was wearing was great. When I saw her, I was like, I'm going to let the pictures tell you. Honestly, can you honestly tell me that someone purposely put this on her and didn't realize that she looked like this? That was so jarring to me that I could not focus on this scene the 3 times that I watched this. I was just like, oh my God, what are you doing? What's happening? What happened? Who put these clothes on you? Are you blind? Did you lose your vision in this whole series? I'm sorry, but I just couldn't get over it. I was like, no, 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 no. There's no fashion statement there. As I struggled to watch the Joker speak to her publisher, because that's where she was going to, her publisher is expressing the amount of love that she had for the book, which now I know what she was doing for the seasons that were passing. She was writing her book about the death and the love and the thing about Big. Okay. The publisher is like, oh my God, the book is so great, and and it's so sad, and I can't believe that you found love and you wrote about love and then you lost love. Well, okay. Then she asks her if she can lighten the book up because it was so, I guess, sad, and that she didn't want her readers that know her to write Sex in the City to feel like they needed to jump out of the window. If only the writers felt the same for us, the viewers. Because at this point, I would have done that. I was like, yo, don't hold me back. It's very meta. If they know that their readers are going to jump out a window for something like that, why would they write this series? Why? Why? Somebody tell me why. So she asks her to go on a date. Then Carrie is startled, and Carrie says, what? And she's like, no, no, no. Just dip your toe into the dating pool. Give them hope, like an epilogue. Okay. I'm thinking an epilogue like a pimp. So you're asking her to just, isn't that how it starts? Just go on a date. Pimp you out for your readers. So don't kill themselves. And I say pimp because this leads into every other scene that happens in this show, in this episode. Because I felt like they were just like trying to toss her out, like, you know, a prostitute. Just a little bit. Carrie agrees, reluctantly. Next scene. Lisa and Charlotte. The only reason why I'm bringing this up because this tennis thing that they're doing comes up later, which infuriated the crap out of me. They are about to play tennis. Charlotte tells her that she's gotten Carrie to be auctioned off at some auction that they're doing. Pimp number 2. Here we go again. Now we're just auctioning off Carrie. Lisa's happy. And then she says to Charlotte that, okay, this group, these 2 ladies that kicked their butts the last time, they need to step it up. And then you turn around and you see that the 2 ladies are in their 80s at the very minimum. They're stretching. They look good. They're working it out. And both Lisa and Charlotte says, we can take these bitches. So they're playing tennis and the Eye of the Tiger song is playing behind them. It's the Eye of the Tiger. And I'm like, am I supposed to be inspired because they're kicking these women's asses, these 80-year-old women who are playing tennis? And I'm like, okay, that's impressive, but really? Really? They kick their asses. And that's great. This was actually one, I'm not going to say it because if I keep saying it, no one's going to believe me. It's like the boy that cried wolf. Wolf. One of the worst episodes ever. I said it. Miranda's next. Miranda is at the farmer's market. It's a big thing. They have it in New York. I think it's on the weekends. They have it in Florida too. It's everywhere. It's a lot of places. Miranda's yelling at her husband on the phone. I'm over here. I'm over here. Where are you? Come find me. Like screaming. Now, I know he has his hearing aid or hearing problem, but she's talking to him as he's like an idiot. Which goes into the next scene. She hangs up the phone and then she tells, the professor and her husband show up. And this scene was just ridiculous. They show up. They get introduced. The husband never met her. He says, oh, I know about you. You're the one who beat up Chucky in the subway station. He walks away. Steve comes over. Well, after he walks away, the professor tells Miranda, I got my period, so I'm not pregnant, and I don't want to tell my husband, I don't want to go through this anymore. This is when the fans should jump in. Neither do I. Cancel. So, I don't know what else to do, make it funny, because this is just so ridiculous. As she's expressing herself about her feelings, Steve come over, and Miranda introduces Steve to the professor, and this is my husband. And Steve is acting like an idiot. And when I say acting, they wrote him this way. Oh, I was so confused after all the yelling you did on the phone. I didn't know where I was. I was over here. They moved the guy over here. I'm like, whoa. So Miranda's like embarrassed in front of her friend because Steve is acting like a maniac. and she introduces the professor to her. And he's like, oh, I'm so glad I got to finally meet you because you're the only one I know that can intimidate this one. Not even his wife, this one. And they both say, oh, we intimidate each other. And Steve's like, oh my God, I forgot my wallet. And I gotta go find this guy. And he starts to walk away. He trips over a woman that's walking and he's like going in circles. And I'm like, what? Oh, justice for Steve, justice for Steve, justice for Steve. So Miranda says, that's my husband. Because the professor's husband was all lovey-dovey and all sweet and all professional, all lovey. And she's like, feel sorry for me because mine's an idiot. Alrighty. Oh, dear God. 3 more episodes to go. Next scene. God, if I can remember the next scene. Oh, here we go. You know what's good? You know what's good about this show? First of all, I don't write a script. This is really off of memory. And that's very important. The fact that I can remember any of this minutia is great. At least I know that I am, I still have a good memory. I may not have any brain cells after this, but I have a good memory. And I'll keep this for preservation, to remind me of what once I was. Next scene, Carrie is going to meet the publisher again at a cafe that's inside the building, I presume. The publisher, Carrie tells her, I'm concerned about the book cover, about the book. Maybe it is too depressing. Maybe I just needed to write it for myself. And the book publisher says, no, please, just go on the dating. And, when I pitched the idea to Oprah's book club, and Carrie's like, oh. She goes, they love the idea. Number 4, Oprah. So the next thing you have is seriously the 3 ding-dongs and Samantha 2.0. Because now they're having lunch. When did they meet? No clue. I don't know when they met her. They might have in the other episodes, but since I don't give a furry rat's ass, I don't remember. They replaced Anthony and they put in a lower tier character. So now they're all eating. And Carrie is expressing to the 3 of them that she's going on a date. Charlotte's happy. Charlotte's like, oh, we had a wave of divorces in the school, so I'm sure one of the men would love to date you. She's already got her pimped out too. Carrie is freaking out because she says, well, I don't have a choice because I was mandated by the Oprah book club. Everybody's like, oh my God, Oprah? Oh my God, you've been mandated? So what happens when Oprah mandates a date? And then Samantha 2.0's line is, you date a man. Wah, wah, wah. Really? I was like, that was not landing at all. So Carrie starts to freak out. She doesn't even know how to get on a dating app. But luckily, Samantha 2.0 saves the day. She's already put her on a dating app. Pimp number. Since in February, nobody buys real estate. So she decided to list her, literally like that. And that she's trending. And then she starts showing her all the men on the app. And one of them is biting on his glasses. Carrie's like, why is he biting on his glasses? And then Samantha 2.0, next line. From my experience, men who bite their glasses are good in bed. What kind of sex are you having? Is that an official survey? And if it is, who filled it out? You're very weird. Whoever wrote this character is very weird. So, the next scene is Miranda and Carrie walking in the street. In what season? I have no idea because it is raining, apparently, or was raining, and they're wearing dresses as if they were coming from a hobo convention. So I don't know if it's winter or it's spring. Couldn't tell you. They're talking, walking and talking, and Miranda asks Carrie How long does it take? Well, wait. During the bruncheon or luncheon or whatever the hell it was, Carrie's statement to the whole team is that she's just going to go on a date and that she doesn't have any intention to have sex. Okay, that triggered Miranda. Because as they're walking and talking, she says, "So you never plan to have sex again?" Carrie's like, "Well, the thought of it is, sad, but the thought of having sex with any other man than Big scares the hell out of me." Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How long did that last? 8. So Miranda states that she hasn't had sex and that it's not happening for her. And Carrie's like, "Well, I didn't know the status of your relationship since you haven't mentioned anything." She goes, "No, no news is no news. We just haven't done it." And then Carrie asks, "Do you think that you should go back to a therapist?" Now, here's the thing I would have loved to have seen. Backstory on this. What happened to them? Because in the last time I saw them in the movie, they were having sex. There's no context. There's no reason in between to explain what happened in their relationship. Nothing. You just open up this series and they're just not together. They're together, but not together. There's no context. I don't know what happened. What happened in the therapist? Why? I mean, I can only imagine why someone like Steve would want to have stopped having sex with her, but at least build a story, say something. Nothing. Have you noticed also that they don't kind of fill in anybody's storyline? Like, what happened to their babysitter? I forgot her name. It was the Ukrainian one. I'm assuming she passed away, but they don't even mention it. And what happened to Elizabeth, Charlotte's dog? You just see a picture of her. Again, I presume she passed away. Nothing. They just threw all these people in and they don't actually finish anything from the last time anybody saw anything. I just thought I'd throw it out there because I started to remember things and I'm like, hey, what happened to these people? And dog. Nothing. So Carrie tells her, well, Miranda says her sex life is dead. Carrie says, well, Big is dead. Maybe your sex life is just in a coma. Meaning that Steve is not dead. Give it a try, you stupid bitch. Okay, that's the way I took it. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. That actually hit Miranda. I wish I could have hit her, but I could only do so much from watching television. Next scene, you have Carrie on the bed. She's looking through the dating app, and I swear to God, she looks at somebody and she decides to reach out to him. And I'm telling you, it looked like an older version of her ex Burger. Mr. He broke up with me and I booked it. Doesn't he? He looks like him in some weird way. So I guess she's dating this one. Oh my God, if it was only that way. Oh God, the next scene. Oh my God. Oh boy. Next one, you have Charlotte at home, and Harry is asking Charlotte why doesn't he get invited with Lisa's husband to play mixed doubles in the tennis that they play together. So she invites him. So they're going to play mixed doubles. Did he regret that? Okay. Next scene. God help us. Miranda's home. Steve's there. They're in the kitchen. She decides that today's the day she's going to try to resuscitate her sex life. I have to say this because when I saw this scene, I was like, holy crap. And you'll understand why now. She's at the dishwasher and he's on the phone. She decides that she's going to turn around and she tells him, she starts kissing him and he's like, oh my God, what's going on? Poor guy. She's like, oh, it's been too long for me. What that means, I don't know, because from what I understand, it's been years. And he's like, okay, all right, wait, give me a second. But the kids are going to come home soon. She goes, well, hurry up. Because that's sexy. Oh my God. She's kissing him and she says to him, kiss me on my neck. Here we go. Oh my God. Literally, my hairs are standing up. Like all my hairs are standing up. And he's like, okay, okay. And she's like, finger me again with the freaking finger. Let go of the finger, Frozen. Elsa, let it go. Let it go. My God. What did this woman have on her finger? A vibrator? Dear Lord, get over it. I was so freaking annoyed when I saw this. I was like, really? The finger again? Here we go with the fucking finger. Excuse my language. He's like, really? She's like, yes. He proceeds to try to do that, and she's frozen in time. She's not even lightly warmed up. She goes, he's like, is this okay? This poor guy. I'm like, if you have to ask, then it's not. Oh my God, stop. This scene was so torturous. She says, okay, let's try it this way. And she turns around and gives her buttocks to him. And he's like, hey, is this working for you? Do you want me to get some lube? Oh my God. And she's like, no, I'll go get it. She doesn't go get it. And she starts to load the dishwasher. And poor Steve's like, are you sure you want to go get it? You were getting me turned on. I'm like, what? How? Man, woman, child. I couldn't even fathom being turned on at all with that. Neither one of them. It was the most unsexiest thing that they did. They did that scene well. They really wanted us to believe that there was nothing going on with them. Because it was already hard to believe that there was something going on with them when they were married. Oh my God. Now we have, this is so stupid. I don't want to say Carrie. I don't want to say Carrie yet, because the next scene you have is Charlotte and Harry and Lisa and Herbert playing mixed doubles. And why this scene had to happen, I don't know. They're playing against each other. Herbert and Lisa are winning. Harry tells Charlotte to step it up. Charlotte looks at him and she's like, all right. With her frozen face. And all of a sudden, as one of them goes to serve, the other couple goes to serve Charlotte pushes Harry down to the floor. You see me? I'm laughing because this is hilarious. She pushes Harry down to the floor and she takes the serve and they win. Great. So then Harry and Charlotte are walking out of the tennis club and she's like, oh, with this woman, the actress has got to stop using Botox. Like seriously, like it's so bad. And I feel so bad for her in a way, because it's like, watching this scene, I saw it again 3 times. I was like, oh my God, give in to the wrinkles, please. She's trying to speak and she has this weird voice all of a sudden. She's, oh, I'm so happy everything worked out, because it's so weird when you don't know how it's going to be with other couples. And Harry's like, and she's like, what's wrong, Harry? I can't even speak. What's wrong, Harry? And he's like, well, don't you think you owe me something? And she's like, what do you mean? And I hope I'm playing it as the way she's doing it. She's like, what do you mean? Well, honey, you knocked me down. Don't you think you owe me an apology? And she's like, an apology? And as they're walking out of the club, they're already outside. And he's insisting on an apology. She's like, we were playing tennis. And, you were mansplaining to me how to play tennis. And he's like, you want to say that again? You're a bit of a mansplainer. And, I put up with it because you're my partner. And you could, there's no expression on her face because she can't. She's so tightened. She must have just gotten a dose. You just hear the heightenedness in her voice. And Harry's like, I'm just asking for an apology. It's the decent thing to do. And she's like, I am not going to apologize for playing good tennis. I can't believe you're asking me to do this. And what are you, 5 years old? And you're getting on my fucking nerves. Yelling in the street at her husband, who just wants an apology. Now, you can't tell by her face that she's yelling at him because she has no expression. You just hear her mouth. A voice, sorry. And then Harry looks over and he sees Lisa and Herbert sitting on a bench chair. And he's like, yeah, this is my wife. And then Charlotte turns over and she sees them and they both are walking away. And they're like, great. Now they think they're with a couple that yells in the street. Well, you were. You were yelling at your husband and calling him, getting on your fucking nerves. Excuse me. So I'm like, wow. I don't know what the purpose of the scene was because I've really never seen Charlotte like get upset like that. And I guess it was to show that she knows how to say mansplaining. It was a very awkward scene. I guess it was to give him a storyline at some point, but though it wasn't worth it. Can someone explain me this episode? Just give me anything. Next scene, Carrie. She's going on her date. Oh my God. With the burger lookalike. She gets to the restaurant. They sit down. They start telling each other their stories about he lost his wife. She lost big. They both look at each other and Carrie says, we're going to need drinks. The next scene you see, they're both walking out of the restaurant, drunk. I don't know how many drinks they gotten, but oh my God, I had to watch this 3 times. I actually skipped these. The 2 times because I couldn't go through it again. As they're laughing, talking gibberish, all of a sudden he starts coughing and then he bends down and he starts to vomit violently. You hear it, you see it, and Carrie does not move away because I would have gone running. Drunk or not, heels or not, I would have done. She starts to gag as he is just letting it all out. This poor guy. And when I say guy, actor, because I don't know how many takes they had to do, but just it, I gagged just looking at it. I was like, ew, wow. I beg of you, anyone who saw this episode, please tell me in the comment below what was your reaction to this. The next scene, they're at the auction. Lisa and Herbert are on stage. Lisa does not know how to hold the microphone to her mouth because she could do everything. She's a documentary person, but she can't hold a microphone to her mouth and actually start talking. So her husband keeps saying, put the mic to your mouth. Great. Thank God Samantha 2.0 was here. Anthony's here. So the 3 ding-dongs and Anthony are there. And they're waiting for the auction to start. And all of a sudden, Carrie sees Professor Puke. And she wants to like hide and run. So she tells Anthony to please go follow him to see when he leaves and then let me know when you're sure he's gone so I can leave. Okay. As the auction is going, it's Carrie's turn to go up to be auctioned off. And she's trying to walk away from the auction. Charlotte stops her and says, hey, you're next. But Anthony's with her and they say, well, this is her only time she can leave because Professor Puke is gone. And Herbert is saying that you get to have a date with sex writer Carrie Bradshaw. Carrie flips out and she's telling Charlotte, really, a date? It's not a date, it's a lunch. And what am I, a porn writer? That was actually funny. Woohoo, ding, one for you. Oh, I'm sorry, we're pimping her again. Don't forget. It's her turn to go upstage. Herbert starts to auction her off. Nobody raises their hand. It was one of the most embarrassing scenes that I've seen in a long time. They start off 1,000. He drops it down to 450. She's sitting there. I would have been like, just kill me. Charlotte offers 700, and then she raises it up even more, so she's outbidding herself. And Carrie is just standing at the stage, totally embarrassed. And then she puts her own hand up and says, $1,000. My God, get me off this freaking stage, $1,000. And then Professor Puke says 1,050. He came back. Fine, 1,050. The next scene you have with Carrie and Miranda, because Che goes up to the auction. She was invited. She goes on set. She's making her jokes, whatever they are. I don't care. Miranda sees her and leaves Carrie standing there by herself. And she goes to look for Che. Okay. Carrie walks out. Professor Puke follows her and says, hey, I don't know what happened, but let's go on another date. And she accepts. Then you see Miranda coming out of the place, and she sees Che talking to some girls that are fangirling her, whatever the hell you call it. And she tries to walk away, and then Che comes over to her and asks what's going on with her. And she says, well, you didn't text me back. She says, when did you text me? 3 months ago. Okay. So it's not only 3 months that we saw her texting when the last time all the seasons were going by. So again, I don't know when this is happening. I'm lost. Completely lost. I don't know if it's fall season. I don't know where it is. She goes, this is my favorite line. Oh, come on, Miranda. I smoked so much weed. I don't remember what happened 3 hours ago. I'm like, oh, at least you know. I can't say anything because, like, man, I have never laughed so hard in my life, and it wasn't for anything that was funny. I was like, oh my God, what are we doing? What's happening? So she tells Miranda that she wants to take her home and take off all her clothes. Okay, Miranda doesn't even try to resist, and they jump in an Uber. The next thing you have Harry and Charlotte, and Harry is insisting to get an apology. And he's telling her, well, you just said sorry 12 times just today. And Charlotte's like, hey, you're counting? He goes, I'm a man on a mission. And you just said sorry to someone that bumped into you at the ladies' room. She goes, and that's why I don't want to apologize. Because as a woman, I need to apologize for everything. And just like Demi Lovato, sorry, but not sorry. That's all I heard. I was like, we're quoting Demi Lovato now? Charlotte, those words should not come out of your mouth. She walks away from him, does not give her poor husband, an apology. And he's like, is there anything on the auction for marriage counseling? I'm like, you're a divorce lawyer. Figure it out. Figure it out. Help. I had to get close to the camera because please, somebody listen to them, please. They gotta go. The next scene you have is Miranda and Che. They're in bed. They had sex. Or, yeah, sex. And Miranda's so taken by it. She tells Che, I'm in love with you. Che says, I'm in love with you too. Now, they had one finger session, an unanswered text. They're in bed with each other. I don't know how long time has passed. 3 months, 3 years, 3 hours. Don't know. But what I do know is that they're both in love with each other. That's all it took. She must have a super finger. So, Che says, it could be the weed. You think? You think? And I'm really good in bed. So, they're together now. They're in love. Greatest love story ever. Who did this happen to in the writer's room? I want names. I want addresses. I want pictures. I want to blame somebody, please, because this is unrealistic. Mm-hmm. That's it. Carrie goes home after she gets another date with Professor Puke. Miranda's in love. Charlotte won't give her husband an apology. You see Carrie go to her house, and she gets a text from Professor Puke looking forward to the date or some crap like that. And then the last thing you see is, and just like that, I gave hope to my readers. I have to pause because I from a rating of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, this was negative 55. Season 1, episode 8 is next. Does it get any better? No. I have one question for everyone. Call to action. Does anyone know how this show got picked up for a second season? I want to honestly understand what happened. And did any of you watch this episode and say, I give up? 3, are any of you watching this and at least enjoying it and laughing with me? Because I could not believe how hard it was for me to even inject any kind of laughter and joy, or even, because none of my videos are laughter and joy, but at least I made people laugh. I literally had to sit and think about this because I didn't know what to say, because this was just, sorry, I know I hate gagging, but this is what the show was like. This was a total gag all the way. So, my beautiful people, I'm editing episode 8. I hope to get it up tonight. I'm also going through The Gilded Age, and God help me, y'all that wanted me to watch Desperate Housewives, whoa, that show's wild. And I haven't decided how I'm gonna. I've never watched this show, so I'm going in there completely fresh-eyed, and it is something. So I wish I can do this full time. If I was able to do this full time, you will get all of me all the time doing everything. I am working on that, but because I work during the week, I can only really do this on the weekend, and editing is a pain in the katukus. Okay. But I am staying consistent. So please, on the weekends, look for me. I might be able to do surprise ones on the weekday, depending on my schedule. And if we have days off, you'll get more of me, but I am working. I would love for you guys to comment, like, share, subscribe, and to my new subscribers, welcome. Check out my other videos, everyone. There's more to come. I am doing more, and I hope you found this funny. And guys, as I say in every video, I appreciate you. You make me laugh. And you know what? When I see all the comments, it makes me really want to go in and do this and do more. Because if we're not smiling and laughing, even if it's something that's not that funny, and we're not trying to make people feel good, then what are we doing? So to all of you, thank you, and have a beautiful and blessed day. Goodbye. Mwah.